Unseen threads connect the cosmic light. Pages flipping in the spirit guide. Truths concealed by a universe-wide phenomenon files we delve so deep. Through the black void where secrets sleep. Ghostly echoes and celestial screams. Mapping mysteries that outshine dreams. Stardust forms an encrypted code. Fragmented tales of a lost abode. Professionals searching through the haze. Cataloging the otherworldly blaze. Phenomenon files we delve so deep. Through the black void where secrets sleep. Ghostly echoes and celestial screams. Mapping mysteries that outshine dreams. Signals hum on a frequency strange. Supernatural whispers shift and change. Tobin's whispers guide us through the streams. Boundaries blur between truth and dreams. Orbiting questions without a tether. A fabric of worlds stitched together. Stars hold answers locked in disguise. A galaxy adorned in
Got one that can see. Stardust forms an encrypted code. Fragmented tales of a lost abode. Professionals searching through the haze. Cataloging the otherworldly
What is up, everybody? We're here at the Phenomenon 5 time. We're going to have a good time. Let's go ahead and get the introduction out of the way. Welcome to the Phenomenon Files, the only show where we take your deepest fears, your weirdest dreams, and your dumbest conspiracy theories and make them even worse. Tonight we're diving headfirst into the cosmic butthole that is the Ultra-Terrestrial Hypothesis and theory suggesting that aliens aren't from space. They're from right here on Earth. Just one reality over, though. Probably watching us like a supernatural Netflix special ad titled Idiot, the Human Story. But hey, why not? Why stop at the mind-breaking, reality-warping entities when we can throw a murderous dream demon into the mix? That's right. We are talking about the finger-bladed bastard himself, Freddy Krueger. The burnt-up boogeyman who turned nap time into a fucking war zone and made you think twice about warm milk and cookies. We're unpacking 4 decades of Elm Street mayhem, child hunting, and razor glove fashion statements. And then we're stuffing Freddy into the pages of Tobin's Spirit Guide as we do to see what kind of ghostly freak show he really is. Is he a class 5? Fuck around, find out, you'll see. Grab your crucifix, down a Red Bull, and for the love of all that is holy, do not fall asleep. This is the Phenomenon Files, and tonight, reality has got some claws. Thank you so much for being here. And what is up, Mage Greywolf? How are you doing? What's
Hey,
up with you?
doing okay, I guess. Trying to still fight back some crud in my throat, but uh, hope everything's going well for everybody else here.
Hell yeah! I hope you feel better, man. I'm glad you made it. As always, thank you so much for always being here and doing the research and everything. Is there anything you want to plug right now before we get started? Is there anything you got going on?
Well, except for my Sunday show at 8 p.m. Eastern, not really much going on right at the moment, but I will be releasing a Suno song for Tom Lear's birthday. Yeah, I played it during my live stream on Sunday, but I will be doing it as a standalone tomorrow for his birthday.
That's right. And then I'm putting your link in the chat. Everybody go check out Mage's Media Musings. He does have a great channel. He has a fun channel. Y'all are going to have a great time over there. And then how about you, Jedi Master? What's going on with you? You got anything going on? I know that you were on Snowdub and you fucking rock the house, man, with your new puppet. I'm so proud of you, man. That was
my
fun.
real puppet is under construction. Snacks got back to me, and he has started patenting it out. And I have another one coming in that my wife surprised me and ordered me. It's going to be a starter one, give me some practice. So so that's coming in, and I'm just working on my channel. I'm just working. I've up to 50 subscribers.
Cool.
And to me, I'm here for the hobby. I'm here for the chill and the hang, and I like just listening to you guys mainly and learning from you guys what you guys know about your things, because I'm a little bit from an older generation, as you see by my toy collection.
Well,
So
as you can see behind me, I have a toy collection of my own. So
yeah, I know.
It's two great minds think alike, I think. So
Lemonades, kid.
damn straight, man. If you don't got some I was gonna say if you don't got some kid in you, then you're not doing it right. But that sounds a little dirty, so I'm not going to.
Oh, I'm a 60-year-old kid. For
Exactly.
I'm a 60-year-old kid now.
Exactly. So I want to go through and say hi to the chat. I want to say hi to Chris. He is the first one in. Thank you so much. Hell yeah. Always looking forward to a Theta stream. That's right. We're going to have some fun tonight. And then Casey's Creepy Creations came in and he gave us a $10 super chat. You're the best, brother. Thank you so much, Casey. You are a fucking legend. Thank you so much.
Your money, Casey.
Yes. I just got off the phone with him and I was like, please, make sure you're taken care of. And then he also sends in 10 Theta Zord memberships as well. I want you to make sure you're taken care of, but it makes me, thank you so much. I definitely need the help to keep getting by. So I love you so much, Casey, and I'm going to work my ass off to write those ads. And I got your Facebook page up. We're going to get you going. We're going to get you monetized. We're going to get you to where you can start putting out your content and getting your subscriber base up and getting those watch hours in for the people that don't know about your channel yet, because once people do, they are going to be hooked, because you write some of the best stories around right now. Thank you so much. The Buck Ahead, formerly known as Jeff Daniels, hail to all. And to Gunner, Casey's Creepy Creations, Blaze 2000, World of Swap Shop, I can't speak, Stinky Link, yeah, they all got some channel memberships. Thank you so much, Casey. That's all you. Thank you so much. And then DJ Play Nice, thank you so much. Data Sword Salute. That's right. Rock on, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. DJ Play Nice again. Thank you so much. Dog Meat, dude. Thank you so much for being here. Don't worry about anything. Just fucking have fun, and we'll figure things out, man. Just don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be cool. Don't worry. I don't harbor any ill feelings. I understand. It's hard to decipher what people actually mean sometimes, and just don't worry about it. Just have fun, and it'll be cool. And then DJ Play Nice got the 99-cent super sticker. That's right. And if y'all don't already know, we have some new super thanks, and I will get to that in just a second as soon as we finish thanking everybody for being here. Dog Meat, have a fun Hellhound fuck. No, you didn't fuck up, man. Don't worry about it. You're gonna be fine. Come back, have fun with us if you don't have anything else to do. I love you, brother. You're awesome. Just everything's cool. So we're gonna give you a little bit of the let's do the Ghostbusters one.
When the moonlight strikes and the shadows crawl for furry faces answering the call. Ghosty whispers in the midnight air, but don't you fret, cause the cats are there. Who you gonna meow? Ghost chasers, paws on the prowl. Ghost chasers, feline facts in their proton packs, and they're laying down traps. Ghost chasers, with whisker precision and tails held high, they leap through walls where the spooks might lie.
Asks you if you're a super chat, you say yes. That's right. So we got that. Yeah. So every time we get some donations, I'm going to be making some new videos with cats acting in major roles from history. From anything from Blazing Saddles. We got a recommendation for to we got Ghostbusters there. Got 2001: A Space Odyssey, Dragon Ball Z. Casey just sent me some recommendations for Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee, The Fast and the Furriest, and I'm already working on one. I'm not going to give it away yet, so yeah, I'll let y'all get that get to that. But yeah, what do you got to say, Mage?
How about a Back to the Future one?
Okay, that's perfect. Let me write it down. That's a good one. Okay, that's really good. I got to write that one down. Thank you. All right, Back to the Future. That's cute. That's really cute. I like that. All right. Thank you so much. That's a fucking awesome one. I'll get to work on that. Do you want me to do what scene would you like me to do? The hoverboard scene, maybe?
I don't know. Be creative with it.
Okay, I'll figure something out. Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, everybody's gonna have some fun with that. We're gonna have like 50 videos of cats reenacting these amazing scenes from these movies. The famous sociocrat Hannibal Lecter. Oh, Hannibal Lecter. That's damn dude. Oh, y'all got some good ideas. All right, I gotta write that one down. I'm sorry for taking the time out, but I gotta remember that one too. Hannibal
That's
Lecter.
okay.
Hannibal Lecter. That sounds kind of dirty too. Anyway, yeah, Dog Meat, don't worry about it, dude. You're cool. Love you, brother. I just want you to be I just want you to be happy. Don't worry about it. All right. Well, let me see about sending that in just a second. But I'm gonna be playing a video. I'm gonna start a video on the. Or do you want to do an introduction to what? Just a brief introduction to the ultra-terrestrial theory or hypothesis, and then I'm going to play a video.
Want me to open it?
Yeah, just do a brief introduction of it, and then we'll get into a video, and then I'll send for Dog Meat.
All right. Well, basically, with the ultra-terrestrial hypothesis is that instead of these extraterrestrial UFOs flying around and being from another planet, they're from this planet, except for a different plane of existence, or possibly an alternate Earth. It's basically the general gist of it right there. And this kind of came about from me running my mouth about how I find it more likely that the ultra-terrestrial hypothesis than the extraterrestrial, and being that the aliens are always described as being rather humanoid, almost always at least. And I find it very unlikely that another planet would produce, say, humanoid form, especially when it breathes oxygen like we do.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to this this little video that I had conjured up. This it's a little bit of a longer video, but it goes into some detail on the whole theory or hypothesis. My bad. But
You can even call it the speculation, really. But
yeah. All right. Let's see. There it is. Okay.
yeah, we already lost our guest.
Yeah, he it seems like he wasn't feeling well and he had to go lay down. So
Yeah, well,
we it'll be all right. We'll
yeah,
have
no
some
problem.
fun. All right. Let's see. Y'all can see this? Yes, y'all can.
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
For centuries, humanity has gazed at the stars, pondering the vastness of the cosmos and the possibility of life beyond our planet. The unknown has always beckoned, whispering tales of otherworldly.
All right. How you doing, Hellhound? Are you all right?
Huh?
You're good?
Yeah. Apparently,
cool.
apparently the portal worked.
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah, you're back here, Terry.
And anyway, Theta, sorry.
That's
That's all I've got to say, sorry.
Don't worry
This,
about
this
it.
is nothing related to the show. This is just me and Theta. Sorry, dude.
Just don't worry about it. It's cool. Well, we're just gonna have a good time tonight, and let's get into this.
I didn't mean a word of it. I didn't mean a word of it.
Yeah, it's fine, perfectly fine, man.
Me and
Don't
you
worry
are
about
brothers, all right?
it. I love you, man. Don't worry about it. All right, here we go.
Encounters and unexplained phenomena. From ancient cave paintings depicting strange beings to modern-day UFO sightings, the evidence, though often anecdotal, persists. The question remains, are we alone in the universe, or is there something else out there, something beyond our current understanding? The Ultra-Terrestrial Hypothesis proposes that interdimensional beings might be behind unexplained phenomena. UFO sightings, strange creatures, and paranormal activity could be manifestations of these beings interacting with our world.
From
Imagine a reality
from what I've looked up to, ultra-terrestrials is also kind of just an umbrella term for. It could be a lot of different things, but this is kind of like the condensed version of what.
Not to interrupt, but
yeah.
Is this the whole Einstein thing of like the faster you go, the slower time moves for you? So maybe aliens are just us
this
from the
is just,
future?
This is just the hypothesis that instead of aliens coming from a different planet in our galaxy, they're coming from a different dimension altogether.
Oh, so we're not talking about time dilation.
No, this is like this is a multi-dimensional theory about.
Oh, we're talking about the multiverse.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yes, that's possible. Einstein didn't argue there wasn't a multiverse. I mean, he tried to prove there was.
So now that you mention it, I do think that the whole time traveling thing with the aliens being a future version of us might also wrap into this as well.
What Einstein tried to say with the theory of relativity was that the faster you go, time goes slower for you.
Slow, exactly.
But Earth itself. So basically, if you travel to Mars, which is like 30 years from here, at light speed, come back to Earth. That's like 100 years in Earth time.
Yeah, which is
like you're not going to come back to Earth. Like you come back to Earth, everybody you love is going to be dead.
Yeah, which is exactly why his whole theory was that you can't actually go past the speed of light because it.
No. That's been misconstrued.
No, but that's his theory. But that was his theory.
His theory is that you cannot reach.
That's what I said. Yeah.
You said you can't go beyond it.
Well, I meant go as fast or beyond it, because it's
Yeah, you can't
basically the
reach
same
it.
thing.
You can get to 99.99%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though, is that his whole thing was that because time will slow down to a point where you can't get to the speed of light, it's just gonna stay at that point right before you get.
As an interdimensional being, I can explain this. If you, I'm a terror dog, I'm an interdimensional being.
Yeah.
I can
You're
explain
classified
this.
as an ultra-terrestrial.
Yeah.
If you go, the closer you get to the point of light, time slows down.
Yeah, that's
not,
that's
but
what I just said. Yeah.
not for everything around you.
Yeah,
just
that's
for
what
you.
Yeah, that's what
Your
I said.
eternal clock, your whatever you want to call it, that slows down.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
So when
Like,
you
it
get
reaches a
to
point where the graph,
99.99% the speed of light, because nothing can go to the speed of light, that's impossible.
well, theoretically,
So-
yeah.
Mind you, well, it is, because there is nothing beyond the speed of light, unless you want to turn into a black hole.
Well,
Well,
I'm just saying as
um,
far as we know. I'm just saying as far as we know so far. But yeah,
Well,
that's exactly what I was saying.
Well, if you go beyond the speed of light, you're going to turn into a black hole because the energy is going to collapse in on itself.
Laws of physics, laws of science have been changed in the past. I'm just saying that as far as we know at this point,
No.
yes, you're right. Yes.
Well. Yes, they have changed. I mean,
Yeah.
we have seen that it's possible for certain atoms to move faster than the speed of light. I mean, that's what the whole Higgs boson was about.
Yeah, and that's
So
why we
it isn't
actually.
necessarily wrong,
Yeah. So.
but that's theoretical because the Higgs boson is still yet to be found.
Yeah, but I'm just.
Well-
But you're exactly right though. That's for the person that is moving towards the speed of light.
But yeah, what I'm saying
time
is
slows down.
a physical being, okay, a physical being, a physical thing, a physical being, a physical manifestation.
Yeah.
You cannot go beyond the speed of light
Exactly.
because your entire atoms would explode.
Yeah.
So
No,
you can go 99.999%, but you
Yeah.
cannot hit the speed of light.
Yeah.
So what would happen is that your eternal clock would slow down to a point where every single little second
Yeah.
would be an eternity. Like me speaking would be 100 years for you.
Yeah.
But then-
Unless you
And
have
you
like
come
a
back
vessel
into
that-
our time,
Yeah.
Earth would be so far ahead.
Yeah. Well, let's get through this video and then we'll go into all the details. And
But
then,
anyway, that's not what this is about, people. This is about interdimensional beings like
This
myself.
is the realm ultra-terrestrials are thought to inhabit, not bound by our three-dimensional space or linear time. They could be shifting in and out of our reality. Their appearance is fleeting and often misunderstood. Their technology would appear to us as magic, defying gravity, teleporting and manipulating time. Their motivations remain a mystery, their actions seemingly random and often inexplicable. The ultra-terrestrial hypothesis offers a new lens to view the unexplained. It challenges us to expand our understanding of the universe and our place within it.
Yeah, this is a good channel
The growing
too.
interest in the ultra-terrestrial
leave it in the
hypothesis
description.
is not merely a fringe movement. It is a testament to the evolving nature of scientific inquiry, a willingness to explore unconventional explanations. The scientific community is beginning to embrace the possibility that our current understanding of the universe may be incomplete. This shift in perspective is not without its challenges. The ultra-terrestrial hypothesis delves into realms beyond our current scientific instruments and methodologies.
Speaking of seeing
It requires a
beyond
departure
realms we
from
shouldn't see,
traditional
that was a bit of a
empirical
moment.
observation and experimentation. However, this challenge also presents an opportunity. The hypothesis compels us to develop new models of reality and new theories. It encourages interdisciplinary research. drawing
You
upon
humans
fields
almost
as
saw
diverse
into
as
the dual
physics,
realm. That was
cosmology,
not interesting.
psychology, and
Yeah,
philosophy.
it-
The
it
ultra-terrestrial
barely got it,
hypothesis
though.
is about expanding our understanding of the universe. It acknowledges the limitations of our current knowledge and embraces the
Yeah,
possibility of
you've
much
got
more to
backups for
discover.
that. We're not having a 1980s situation again.
The ultra-terrestrial hypothesis proposes that certain unexplained phenomena might be better understood through interdimensional activity. These entities may be accessing our reality from dimensions beyond our immediate perception. This hypothesis challenges us to expand our understanding of life and intelligence. It posits that advanced beings could exist within realities governed by different laws of physics.
Exactly.
Their manifestations
Oh
in
yeah,
our
and if
world
anyone's
might be
wondering
bizarre
why
or
we are
supernatural.
talking over it,
Imagine a being
it's
existing
because,
in a reality of four spatial
as long as it's
dimensions.
commentary,
To
we
such an
can't be
entity, Our
copyrighted.
three-dimensional
Yeah,
world would appear
because we're
limited.
trying to
They
educate
could
y'all
perceive all
on
dimensions
what
of
this
our reality
actually is.
simultaneously.
Exactly.
Their
But
movements might seem like teleportation.
this
defying our
channel
understanding of
technically
spatial
can't
constraints.
copyright us if
The
we're just
ultra-terrestrial
commentating.
hypothesis does not
Yeah,
dis-
and I think that a good point, if y'all didn't hear it, was that in a different universe, different laws of physics and all sorts of laws that we've come up in this universe could be completely different in that other.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if any of you guys have seen Gravity Falls.
No,
A little bit.
I've
It's
heard
like
of it,
it's
but-
like Bob Cypher. Like he can
Yeah,
just basically
yeah,
do whatever he
no,
wants because
I
he's a
know.
fourth-dimensional being.
Yeah, Tony has
Yeah.
really informed me that I need to watch Gravity
Yeah,
Falls.
Good,
so
good storytelling, terrible animation.
don't let Bob Cypher hear you say that.
dismiss extraterrestrial life. Instead, it broadens the scope of inquiry, suggesting a
What did you
stranger
say
and more
about
wondrous
me?
universe. It encourages
Bob-
us to
I said
consider
Bob
that the answer
Cypher.
to "Are we alone?" might be more complex
Oh.
and nuanced.
Yeah, Huarevo is an ultra-terrestrial. Maybe I should. Theta of the Grid. Huarevo is an
The seeds of the
ultra-terrestrial. Maybe I
ultra-terrestrial
should get in
hypothesis
touch
was
with
sown in scientific curiosity.
you. In touch with them. Yeah.
Researchers, dissatisfied with prevailing theories,
Well,
explored
technically,
uncharted territories of
I'm
thought. The mid-20th century
character
witnessed
is a
surge in
time
UFO
traveler.
sightings, sparking debate within scientific circles.
What the heck would
Some
I be?
researchers began to consider alternative
know.
explanations for these sightings. Could these sightings
I'm not
be
a
glimpses
ghost,
into
technically.
realities beyond our own? Advancements
No,
in
you're a
theoretical physics
you're a
revealed a
possessor.
universe
We read
far
it in
stranger
Tobin's
and more
Spirit Guide
complex.
once.
Concepts like
Oh,
higher
yeah, I
dimensions
am.
and parallel universes seeped into
Possessing
scientific
demigod.
possibility.
Yeah.
The ultra-terrestrial hypothesis.
I'm kind of like Freddy
emerged from
Krueger.
this
I just
confluence of
possess
factors.
people.
It represented
No,
a paradigm shift,
'cause
recognizing that our
Freddy,
reality
well,
might
we're gonna
be
get
one
to
of
that
many.
later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought I'd bring him up again. I mean, he's in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Always in the back of my head.
The
Always.
ultra-terrestrial hypothesis has found a home
Always,
within
yeah.
the minds of notable researchers.
I think
These
he's watching
individuals
this right
share
now
a
and getting
common thread of
ideas.
intellectual
This isn't
curiosity
good.
and a
For
willingness
sure.
to entertain
The Dream Demon. I mean, he's in your
unconventional
mind at all times.
Jacques
he knows
Vallée,
everything.
a prominent
about
researcher
you.
of UFO phenomena,
He's just
proposed that
like,
UFOs
what
might
can
be
I do
windows
with
into
this?
other realities. His work has challenged conventional thinking and encouraged a nuanced approach to understanding the unexplained. John Keel
Yeah,
suggested
because
that
this is what you were saying,
ultra-terrestrials might
Thea.
be
Like,
behind a
science
wide
is
range of
changing.
paranormal phenomena.
Yeah, exactly.
Keel's work
Well,
emphasized
finding-
the interdisciplinary
theories
nature of
change
this field
as
of
we
study.
refine and with new
These
evidence.
individuals
But
have laid the
Exactly.
groundwork for a
Laws.
new understanding of
Yeah,
the unknown.
that's what I
Well,
was-
it's
that's
in
what
the
I was-
word, doesn't
Represents
it?
a vital step
Theory.
in the evolution of human
no,
knowledge. It
that's
is
a
a
little
testament
bit
to
of
the power of
misunderstanding.
curiosity.
It's more
well,
of a-
'cause-
it's an
'cause-
explanation of what we know.
Yeah, because science never proves anything; it just hypothesizes and
Yeah.
theorizes.
And I mean, there's no way. There's no conventional way to prove anything. The universe is ever expanding. Yada yada yada.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the reason why you don't prove anything with a theory is because you always want to keep it open
Exactly.
for new evidence.
Exactly. That was my whole point, is that science is ever evolving. So you never actually prove anything. You present evidence to be able to come to the best conclusion that you can for the time being.
Yeah.
With the evidence. So anyway,
I learned earlier on. Don't come into conclusions on ever evolving things.
yeah. That's the cool thing about science, though, is that it is ever evolving.
The ultra-terrestrial hypothesis challenges
And so
the
is everything
established
else that I
scientific
just
paradigm.
learned earlier.
It urges us
Yeah.
to reconsider our assumptions about the nature
And
of
I
reality
think I've
and the
apologized
potential
enough
for
for
life
that one.
beyond our understanding.
Yeah, that's cool.
This
Don't worry
challenge
about
is
it, man.
crucial for the advancement of knowledge.
I'm glad we're working together
Compels us
again.
to confront
Yeah,
the
it's
limitations
cool.
of our current models and embrace new ways
As
of
long
thinking.
as we're
The
cool, then
hypothesis
I'm
suggests
cool.
the
It
potential
was a
existence of
complete
realities
mistake.
beyond our own.
I took it as
If interdimensional beings are visiting our world, it suggests a more complex and interconnected universe.
Anyway, that's
It
out of
raises the
context.
possibility of
Yeah,
a
it's
multiverse,
cool. Don't worry
a
about it.
tapestry of realities interwoven and
Everyone know
coexisting.
me and Fate
The
are friends.
hypothesis forces us
Yeah.
to reconsider our definitions of life and intelligence. It opens the door to the possibility of forms of life and
As all
consciousness
friends,
radically
as all
different
brothers
from
do,
our
we
own.
had a scuff.
The hypothesis highlights the importance of remaining
It was just a
open-minded in the
misunderstanding.
face of the
Don't worry
unknown.
about
It was a, bro-
It
it was a,
serves
bro-
as a
it was a
reminder that the
brotherly,
universe is full of mysteries,
scuff.
and the greatest discoveries often lie beyond conventional thought.
Yeah, so this is the part I really wanted to get into, the difference between extraterrestrials and
The
ultra-terrestrials.
ultra-terrestrial hypothesis diverges from the extraterrestrial hypothesis in its fundamental premise. While both concepts grapple with the possibility of life beyond Earth, they offer distinct perspectives. The extraterrestrial
one thing.
hypothesis posits that intelligent beings could originate from distant planets. This
Doesn't
perspective
science
envisions
dictate that there has to be
extraterrestrials as being
life
somewhat
beyond
similar
Earth
to ourselves.
because the universe is
The
infinite?
ultra-terrestrial hypothesis suggests that these beings might not be bound by the limitations
Well,
of
it's
space.
ever
Very like-
it's ever
Ultra-terrestrials could
expanding, but
originate
we
from
don't
other
know
dimensions,
if it ends or
realities
not.
coexisting with our
That
own.
has to do with the
Their
matter
means
in
of
the-
travel
in the
would
re-
involve
really-
interdimensional
Yeah.
mechanics. This
Yeah,
fundamental
I'd
difference
say,
in origin
given it's what we've
influences the
seen
perceived
and
nature
the
and
amount, the sheer
motivations
amount
of
of
these
what we do
beings.
know is out there,
Extraterrestrials
very
are
unlikely
often
that there
envisioned
is
through a
life
materialistic
out there
lens.
someplace else.
Ultra-terrestrials
Yeah.
are associated
We do
with
know
the
that
paranormal.
it
Their
all
appearance is
started in a
fleeting, and
singular
their motivations mysterious.
point,
Their actions
and then
might
it,
appear
it,
supernatural.
with
Their
the Big Bang,
technology
it,
indistinguishable from magic.
began to
They operate
expand,
under
and it's ever
principles that defy
expanding.
our
And
And
we can
apologies
actually,
for anyone that's getting annoyed out there, but we have to talk over this because copyright.
Suggesting a stranger and more wondrous
Yeah.
universe.
It's the law, people. It's the law.
it's the law. It's YouTube's law.
I am the
No, it's literally the law.
Hypothesis offers a compelling
And Mage
framework
is
for
gonna probably
understanding
break
unexplained
down
phenomena.
everything
By
also
viewing these
too.
occurrences through the
But
lens
Yeah,
I
of
like
love-
if we don't
multidimensional
talk, if we don't
activity,
talk over
intriguing patterns
this,
and possibilities
it's
emerge.
gonna end
UFO
badly.
sightings take on a
Well,
new
I
dimension
think it
as
still
potential
covers because
manifestations of
we're
interdimensional craft.
understanding
The
the whole
erratic movements and
hypothesis.
sudden
This is like an
appearances could be
education.
Yeah.
beings
It's a
navigating
scientific.
between
It's a
dimensions.
scientific analysis.
Encounters with cryptids
Yeah.
could be interactions with beings from other realities.
See,
Bigfoot,
that's-
If anyone's
that's-
played Half-Life, we're like a bunch of
See-
we're a bunch of Half-Life scientists, be like, oh yes, oh yes.
See, the point they just made though is a very important one. Is that cryptids that we may be experiencing or have folklore for?
They could be
is-
aliens, yeah.
It could actually be ultra-terrestrials.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean,
think that's a-
have you ever heard a theory? It might not be in this video, but have you ever heard the theory that like Anubis and all that is just misremembered encounters with extraterrestrials?
I've heard that.
Oh,
from
yeah.
A lot of different pantheons and stuff.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
like maybe even. Okay, we're not going to bring up the J word. Oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Maybe Jesus might have been a misremembered alien.
Maybe,
I've heard that before.
I've heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Right. Okay.
yeah.
Let's move quickly before people start warming the channel.
Transient beings
Oh
from
no,
other
no.
dimensions.
I mean, I like talking
Paranormal
about
phenomena also
Christianity.
Yeah. Move quick. I'm saying that for your own good, brother.
Poltergeist
No,
activity
no,
and
no,
We got a
I-
whole show planned for that. For
Yeah,
this
yeah,
season.
we got a whole show planned on religion, so don't worry about that.
interdimensional energies.
Yeah, but I'm saying
The
that
hypothesis
quickly for
offers
this
a unifying
specific show.
perspective on the unexplained.
Okay, yeah.
These events might represent different facets of a larger.
We don't want this one getting
interconnected
attacked by that group.
Yeah. Yeah, this is specifically on ultra
This is paranormal. This is not for them
The
to attack.
ultra-terrestrial hypothesis
That's all I'm
invites
saying.
us to re-examine historical accounts and cultural narratives. Ancient myths and legends take on new significance when viewed through
Treat
this
this
lens.
show like
Tales of gods
like
and
ancient
magical
aliens.
beings could be interpreted as encounters
Yeah.
with interdimensional entities. Religious experiences might also find a place
Oh
within the
fuck! Here we go.
hypothesis.
Yeah.
Visions of angels and
Yeah.
encounters with deities could be interactions with beings from other dimensions.
See, you
Historical
called
accounts
it.
of unexplained phenomena could be reinterpreted. Strange lights in the sky and unexplained disappearances might represent glimpses into interdimensional realities.
Oh, that never came very well, did
Examining
it?
these narratives, we open ourselves to the possibility of enduring contact with beings.
That's the
from
most
other
bubbly
realities.
X-Files
This
theme ever
contact
made.
is woven into
Since the
the fabric
90s.
of our history and mythology. The
Since the original.
ultra-terrestrial hypothesis delves into consciousness, reality, and a hidden order in our universe. It challenges our understanding, pushing scientific inquiry into the philosophical. If interdimensional beings manipulate
I agree with
reality,
that. It's in the
our perception
philosophical.
is incomplete. This hints at a multidimensional universe
Jeff
where
Daniels
consciousness
said,
influences reality.
I guess this was
Their
a while
technology
ago.
might be an extension
I just
of their
thought of
consciousness.
something terrifying.
The
Freddy Krueger is a
hypothesis challenges
possessing
our
possessor.
assumptions,
Yep.
opening philosophical
Kinda.
and scientific questions.
Well, we'll get
The
into that.
Ultra-Terrestrial
He could
Hypothesis,
possess
with
me
its
if he wanted to.
implications of interdimensional beings and realities
That's me,
beyond
baby.
our current perception,
I'm already in, you
challenges the
bitch.
established
What?
scientific paradigm, urging us to embrace a more
Welcome to
open-minded
prime
approach.
time, bitch.
Scientific progress thrives on inquiry and questioning
I'm enjoying this
assumptions.
shit,
However, the
bitch. I
scientific
want to see how to
community
make a
can become
spaceship.
entrenched in
Shut
dogma.
up.
The ultra-terrestrial hypothesis challenges this dogma.
I can
demanding
figure
a
out how
fresh
to go to
perspective
another
on the
universe.
Embracing it expands the scope of the
You're
scientific
talking
method.
too much, dog.
Openness
Shut up,
to the
bitch.
unknown
I
is
want
a
to know how to
testament
go to another
scientific strength.
universe.
History
You know what's funny though is that now that I'm thinking about it, Freddy Krueger might be an ultra-terrestrial because he does come from like a dream dimension.
Yeah, it's another
So-
dimension. Yeah,
There's a little bit,
dreams
there's a
are
little bit more
another
on
dimension.
that. There's a little bit
That-
more on that. I'm not sure if I can classify him himself, but
Yeah,
By the way, have any of you guys ever had a lucid dream? It's so
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
awesome when you have that.
oh, yes,
Yeah,
I have.
true.
a
Like
couple times.
you basically become. I mean, fuck it. We're already mentioning religion. You basically
God.
become God, and you can control your own universe. It's so
Yeah,
fucking awesome.
Transdimensional, what is it?
I think they've classified it as transdimensional telepathy or something like that.
Yeah, it's it's transdimensional travel,
Telepathy.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
heretical
Something like that.
theories can become foundational. The
It's basically like a form of telepathy.
Understanding of
Yeah.
reality. The
It's so awesome.
ultra-terrestrial
Like
hypothesis
I can do it
transcends
like
traditional
a
scientific
lot.
boundaries.
It's
It
so cool.
explores where physics meets
Yeah.
consciousness and cosmology meets parapsychology. An
But
interdisciplinary
by the way,
approach is
it doesn't
essential.
mean that you have
Physicists
control
provide
over that
insights
entire
into
dimension. Like
interdimensional
that
No,
dimension will
just
fight back.
just yourself.
Perspectives
Just
on
yourself.
multiple
No,
universes.
that dimension will fight
Parapsychology
back.
contributes
Yeah,
valuable
I've
data
actually
on
had
consciousness.
where I realized it
Collaboration
was a
fosters
dream,
a
and I was
comprehensive
telling the
understanding of the
people in the dream, I was
hypothesis.
saying,
Like
no, this isn't a
I've
dream.
had the most terrifying moment. I don't know if any of you guys have ever covered it.
Section 3.
I've
Expanding
had
the
the most terrifying thing
All right, let's hear it.
where like I realize that it's a dream, but I cannot escape.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like I want to wake up. I want to wake up. I want to wake up. Fucking let me wake up.
Yeah,
Fucking
the
let
more-
me wake up.
Yeah, the more
You
you
know.
want to, the more you're not. You can't. Transcendental meditation. That's what it is. Transcendental
Well,
meditation.
I have a theory that maybe that's these little bastards here.
Yeah.
They're not letting us in. They're
And-
just
and-
like, no, I'm not done experimenting on you yet.
You know what's cool though? The reason that I named my my character the Theta Ranger is because when you're dreaming, you're using your theta waves of your brain. So technically, like my character is a dream Power Ranger.
I think sometimes when they're not letting, when you realize what's happening, you're like, let me out, let me out, let me out.
Yeah.
These aliens, these beings, these whatever they are, they're panicking. They're like, no. Just reestablish it. He's trying to escape. It's like the
Yeah.
Matrix. It's
Yeah,
like the
exact-
Matrix.
It is. Yeah,
Like,
it's
whoa,
like
he's trying to escape.
simulation.
No. Reestablish it. Quick.
Yeah, it's like simulation theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
New methodologies for exploring the
And I've had that
interdimensional.
happen a lot, and it's
The
really scary.
ultra-terrestrial hypothesis
Oh, yeah.
presents unique challenges for scientific investigation. Traditional methodologies may prove inadequate for studying entities outside our understanding of space-time. We need new methodologies.
Yeah,
and
we
expanded
don't have the
toolkits.
methodologies to
Consciousness research
actually
is a
prove
promising
or
avenue.
give evidence
Developing technologies
for
to
this
detect subtle influences could
theory,
be invaluable.
but
This might involve
that's the whole
refining
point is that
EEG
we
and
don't,
fMRI or developing
we don't
new
have that kind of
technologies.
technology
New
yet.
models of reality can accommodate interdimensional phenomena. Computer simulations help visualize and test these frameworks. A nuanced approach to data collection and analysis is required. Anecdotal evidence might hold valuable clues. Rigorous methodologies for interpreting anecdotal accounts are essential. Embracing innovative technologies and new models expands our capacity. This evolution is crucial for pushing scientific boundaries and unlocking the universe's mysteries.
All right, that's as far as I want. I think that is the most important part, and now we can get into what Mage has for us.
All right. Let's see. We were covered what it is, the idea of flying saucers, yada yada. So let's see. Okay, let's see. Find where I can start here. I might as well just cover what I have written here. The idea that flying saucers in like were interdimensional travelers was proposed during in the 1940s UFO craze by Mead Lane, an early ufologist and parapsychologist. He thought that UFOs were from a parallel dimension, which he called the etheria. And their ether ships were usually invisible, only being visible when the atomic motion became slow enough. He believed that these ether ships inspired much of our mythology and religion. John Keel, another ufologist, embraced this idea. He quotes, I abandoned the extraterrestrial hypothesis in 1967, and when my own field investigations disclosed an astonishing overlap between psychic phenomena and UFOs, as Keel wrote. And he quoted, the objects in the apparitions do not necessarily originate on another planet and may not even exist or permanent constructions of matter. Or it is more likely either that we, as is what we want to see, interpret such vision according to our contemporary beliefs. A little side note for you who Theta is you mentioned this on your own personal beliefs. Keel was noted as saying ufology is just another name for demonology. He, he claims that he did not consider himself a ufologist, but a demonologist. And as an early admirer of Charles Fort, he actually preferred to be called a Fortean, which covers a wide range of paranormal subjects, which basically he said he was basically seeing it as UFOs and aliens were demons. Basically, was his view on the matter.
Exactly. Yeah.
A little sip of water here.
Hey, what happened to our fourth? What happened to our fourth Ghostbuster?
File 13. I think he's with his family.
Yeah.
He has his
No,
family.
I meant the other guy. There was another guy that was here before the portal opened. Oh no! Have I done it again? Did I possess somebody?
No. He got a little bit too high on his supply.
Okay.
And so he passed out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, continuing on here.
Oh.
Okay, continue. Harold Edward Pothoff of PhD.
I'll return his body to him at some point.
Okay, PhD in electrical engineering. I just wanted to cover that he's an electrical engineer PhD, not that. Which so his PhD in this thing has nothing to do with anything, and he also covers ufology. What are the possible signatures of ultra-terrestrial as opposed to extraterrestrial presence?
I knew there had to be a sacrifice to open the portal. I didn't know it was going to be him.
Okay.
Sorry, dude.
Anyway, his list here goes density.
Sorry, Wolf.
Yeah, density of sightings over decades, if not centuries, is potentially indicative of a present in time and local as opposed to extraterrestrial source. In other words, that the UAP phenomena is so ambiguous as to argue against a simple model of any occasionally visited extraterrestrial explorer. Another point. Point two, recent since World War II, who claims to focus its messaging regarding elimination of nuclear technologies and concern regarding environmental degradation are a would-be reasonable theme for a co-located but isolated terrestrially located society. Point three, via subterfuge and disinformation and stealthy injected proliferating emphasis is on the ET theme as misdirection to prevent an exposure of local terrestrial habitation as in theater Ella veils messengers of deception. In the point four interaction ends with humanoid genotype ranging from modern human to creatures, including sightings of little people over the centuries, encounters with non-humans that haunt our folklore, or let alone genetically engineered and biological robot or drone. It's all variants within in the lexicon of alternate form into human genome. Basically, they're getting on with us too.
Mhm.
Five,
Trying to make little extra ultra dimensional babies.
yeah, which would kind of
Oh,
play against the
well,
aliens.
I totally didn't try and do that one time.
Yeah.
That was you, dog meat. Of course it was.
All right. So where was I?
Do
Another
you
one.
like this part?
Seeming emphasis on reproduction. I get just getting into reproduction again. Harvesting of sperm and ova from certain genetic lines. And let alone hybridization could bespeak outreach each toward genetic diversity from a relatively inbred, local, isolated society on the wane and suffering from potentially debilitating genetic syndrome. Observation is a vehicle is not that advanced. It's comprehensible to us as opposed to magical, even if nonetheless well in advance of our own. Use of telepathic information transfer only marginally ahead in the present day technical, neural, biological advances in public
Oh,
domain.
we've found our Egon in this group, haven't we?
That's the whole point. We gotta. He does a lot of research for this. So
Yeah,
I like,
I
like
wasn't
hearing.
meaning that in a
I'm reading.
bad
I'm
way.
reading.
Why do
I'm
you
reading.
people take it that I'm saying it in a bad way?
No, I wasn't. I was just
It's,
agreeing with. I was
it's my
agreeing with you.
it's my kind of humor. It's the blunt British humor.
No,
by
you misunderstood me. I was agreeing with you.
By the way, what
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
reading,
sorry.
what I'm currently reading is verbatim for what the Herald had written down in his thing.
Nice.
But I had to cut it short too. I was trying to figure out how I was gonna cram the like a dozen page thing. Use of telepathy. Sorry, I did cover the telepathic. Report of cave-like or undersea destinations during claimed abductions. Given the need, and again, final point on his list is given the need for secrecy concerning the reality of all of the above on the part of ultra-terrestrials as co-located denizens of our planet, while nonetheless being subject to a certain level of co-dependent inscrutable nature of the interaction would not be an unexpected outcome. So that was basically his list of reason why it would be more likely to be ultra-terrestrials rather than extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
Another guy I came across, Tim Lomas, is from Harvard University. He is a psychology research scientist. I had to take another little excerpt from his long ramble. It's basically just the abstract. Recent years have seen increasing public attention regarding unidentified anomalous phenomena (UAPs). These hypotheses is for such phenomena tend to fall into two classes of conventional terrestrial explanation, i.e., human-made drones, or extraterrestrial explanation, advanced civilization from elsewhere in the cosmos. However, there is also a third minority class of hypothesis, a non-conventional terrestrial explanation
There's always a minority.
outside the prevailing consensus in this view of life in the universe. This is the ultra-terrestrial hypothesis, which includes but is not limited to the interdimensional hypothesis, namely the high
I just
speculative.
realised I'm like the Bill Murray of this group. Like I'm the overly aggressive one with a really dark sense of humor.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
The speculative
let him finish. No.
notion of the UAP may reflect activity is a being from other dimensions that coexist alongside our own, and such hypothesis may rightly be regarding with skepticism. But most scientists, however, by most scientists. However, the paper suggests that nonetheless should not be ruled out and deserve serious consideration in spirit and empathetic community and openness. Basically, we should keep an open mind into the ideas what he's getting at, not so much we should actually believe this. But my own little thing, I think it's a good idea that we keep an open mind, but we shouldn't keep such an open mind that our brain falls down. Remain open-minded is something that is unacceptable. It's first just learning to UFOs and
What
UAPs.
the heck just happened?
Yeah, that was weird. Okay, my bad.
It's important to note that the UFO in UFO and UAP stands for unidentified, meaning we don't know what it is, not an unusual life form. We should
Hmm.
apply Occam's razor here. That the simplest explanation is
Say
usually
I, say I
the
just
most.
crossed the streams for a minute.
Yeah, I pressed a button. That was my bad.
Yeah, we should apply.
Okay, that's all right. Wolf, that was his fault.
We should apply Occam's razor here, and that the simplest explanation is usually the most accurate. So we should try to rule out any mundane explanation before truly considering more extraordinary ones like extraterrestrials or ultra-terrestrial life. Given the lack of empirical evidence and highly speculative nature of the ultra-terrestrial hypothesis, we should even apply Hitchens' razor to this. What can be asserted without evidence can also be dismissed without evidence, or until such evidence is present, and set aside the idea. And to bring this around to Ghostbusters lore, or
You just taught me something. You just taught me something new. I've never heard of Hitchum's razor. I've always heard of Occam's.
yeah, it was a
Yeah.
play. It was by Christopher Hitchens. He used it on religion. And,
Yeah, Hitchens was a very famous atheist debater. He's very
yeah.
good. He's very good. Very, I respect
Ah,
that.
yeah.
If basically, let's see, getting back to the Ghostbusters scene with ultra-terrestrials as described, phasing in and out of planes of existence from another.
Me.
Yeah, would
Yeah.
be they would mean that they'd be ecto manifestations and could be trapped like ghosts. Gozer and the pterodogs would qualify as ultra-terrestrials, both in the same sense. So, if they were ultra-terrestrial aliens, our UFOs could be trapped and contained just like a ghost.
Nice. That's cool. That's a cool little fact. That's awesome.
Oh crap!
Or theory. It's a cool theory. That's awesome. I think that actually that's a plausible theory. This whole ultra-terrestrial hypothesis that we're talking about. I think that it's a very viable one.
You guys just revealed that the Empire State Building is basically a UFO. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
That's the building. That's the building they used in Ghostbusters. People.
yeah, it's definitely one theory that I haven't, to be completely honest, I had never heard about this theory before you brought it up a couple weeks ago. And doing some investigating into it. It's a very viable theory. It's very cool. It kind of it's an umbrella for a lot of different speculations out there, and it has cryptids in it. It has ancient aliens. It has the sightings of of crafts that we don't know about. It's really just a really cool umbrella.
You ever
theory
heard
for
about
a bunch of stuff.
the ancient Egyptian time travel
the-
theory that they came up with time travel somehow?
Yeah, well, have y'all heard that just recently they found underneath the pyramids, they found these pillars that they are speculating is a power core for a city that's underneath that was long buried. They've done sonar, and they've found these pillars that are right underneath the pyramids of Giza.
Atlantis?
Pyramid of Giza, and they conduct energy. I think they're made of copper or something like that.
Atlantis?
Just recently this happened, like within the past month. Y'all, we should do an episode on that as well.
Are you talking about Atlantis? Like
No,
the lost city?
No, well, it could be, but this is specifically under the.
I mean, isn't
Pyramid of
Atlantis
Giza.
supposed to be under the Pacific Ocean?
Yeah, but
I mean,
this
that's
is-
something we should talk about. We should talk
Yeah.
about Atlantis at some point.
Yeah, well, we definitely will, and the Bermuda Triangle. I'm sure we'll get to a lot of it. But this recently.
What about the
just
dragon?
happened.
What about the Dragon's Triangle? That's connected to UFOs.
I've never heard of the Dragon's Triangle.
The Dragon's Triangle is an area off of the coast of China, and it's connected with UFOs.
Oh, you know what? I have heard of it. I've just never heard of it.
Yeah, but I think they call it the Devil's Sea.
That's it. I've heard of the Devil's Sea,
Yeah.
but I've never heard of the Dragon's
Yeah.
Triangle. Well, let's talk about this at least. And
It's connected. It's UFOs. It's connected.
Yes, Buckethead, formerly known as Jeff Daniels. The pillars under the pyramids are real. No, that is not something that they made up. That is something that they have really found, and it is being explored. And they're theorizing a bunch of stuff right now. But that is a real thing that they have found through sonar. It's we have no idea what exactly it is, but we know it's made of copper, and so we're theorizing
Well,
that it is a
there's a
conduction
very
for a power
interesting
source.
there's a very interesting thing in the UK. If this isn't off subject. I mean, well, it isn't really off subject. It's technically interdimensional.
What?
Well, there's a tomb in London that they say a contains a a time machine of some sort.
Oh, in London, I have heard something about that, but
Yes, there's a tomb in London that contains a supposed time machine, and no one can enter it because the key has been lost for over 200 years, and it's in the Egyptian sort of style. It's got all the Egyptian hieroglyphs and stuff on it.
yeah.
And someone recently put a camera in, and the tomb is completely empty. There's no coffins. There's nothing. There's just structures that look way too modern. By the way, like they look like modern scaffolding holding it up.
Well,
And
we'll
there's
have to do
also like a concave mirror, which would have not been possible to have been made in the time when that tomb was made. So it's like, what's going on?
Well, let's do some research on that in the future, but let's finish talking about this, and then we'll get into Freddy Krueger after we do some commercials.
Oh yeah, there's so much in it. We should do a UK special, by the way. There's so much. There's ghosts. There's time machines. There's a guy literally buried in a tent.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about in the future, but let's get back to the Ultra-Terrestrials. How do we feel?
But that was an ultra-terrestrial thing, because it's like it's empty. Like it's been closed for 200 years. A guy put a camera in, and there's nothing except from what looks like modern day equipment. But how could have anyone got in?
Yeah, but
it's been sealed.
But that's more of a time travel thing as opposed to another dimension type of thing. So how do we feel about the ultra-terrestrial theory?
Maybe these beings could have got in and took these things away.
Well,
because it's like, what if they accidentally created a rift?
It's possible. It is possible, but if it's a time machine, then that's separate from a transdimensional.
Not really, because they could have caused a rift. They could have caused a transdimensional event. I mean, Einstein, you know.
Yeah, but time travel specifically deals with being traveling through time and not in space. So like when you
but if they accidentally caused an event horizon,
a rift. I mean, it's possible, but let's specifically finish talking about the Ultra-Terrestrials.
Yes, I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah, let's finish talking about this, and we can do that time travel in the future.
There's so much we can talk about. I know.
Yeah. So as far as the whole ultra-terrestrial theory, I think that the whole umbrella term being from an alternate universe and having different technology, being able to look into our universe,
basically me.
Yeah, and being able to, I mean, that's the thing is that in alternate universes, they might have different laws of physics and all sorts of stuff. They might already be here possessing our bodies and learning from us in this universe, trying to get the information back to their universe. I mean, there's so much that we could get into, but as far as like a whole, what do you think about this idea, MageGraywolf? Do you think that this is a plausible theory, or is this just a fun kind of thing to think about?
I put it more in the camp of a fun thing to think about. We don't have any hard evidence to really support it, so my mind I automatically kind of put it on the back burner of sorts.
Gotcha. And I do really like that you kind of turned it into a Ghostbuster thing, where since they are from a different universe, they're kind of like a gozer. They're kind of like a deity in a sense, looking into this, coming into this universe, and could be theoretically caught by a proton pack and a ghost trap. So I think that's really cool of you to have thought of. What about you, Dog Meat? How about you? Do you think that this is a plausible theory that could be happening, or
Why
is this?
why are you calling me dog meat?
I mean, Hellhound. I'm sorry.
Dog meat is my
I know.
host.
Dude. I know. I'm sorry. My bad.
Dog meat is my host.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Well, if you want the opinion of dog meat,
No, I want the opinion of Hellhound.
well, what can I say?
Do you think that it's plausible? Do you think that it's something that could be possibly happening in your mind? Like, would you give it over 50%?
It's not plausible for your stupid monkey brains, but it is for other beings.
All right. So, what about for your brain, your enhanced Hellhound brain? Would
You
you?
mean my enhanced interdimensional being brain?
Yeah, that.
Why would we bother interacting with a bunch of monkeys that are destroying themselves? That's all I've got to say.
See, but that's the thing, is that we don't know what kind of laws of physics they have, and maybe some of the laws of physics we have in this universe, they don't have the luxury of having. So maybe they want to be able
Yeah,
to,
well, then
you
you're
know-
just lab rats. We just find you interesting.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is
I'm
that
not, so,
maybe
I'm not so sure about the different laws of physics thing, because if they're going from one laws of physics to new ours, that could really mess them up pretty badly.
it could, but unless they had the
Well,
technology
actually,
to protect them.
yeah. If you're gonna stick to Einstein's theory, they would just explode.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can get behind that. So let's go ahead and do some commercials, and then we'll get back with some Freddy Krueger love, and get into the lore of some.
If you want my real
demons.
opinion,
Yeah,
it's,
I do.
It's a bunch of it's a bunch of pseudoscience. Like, come on,
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
flying saucers and that. It's 1950s B movies.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I
That is
don't,
likely where it came from.
it's fun to think
Yeah.
about. That's what
Like,
that's-
I'm joking. I'm joking being a hellhound, but no, it's
Yeah.
not real. It's not
Okay.
real.
All right, yeah, I agree. I think that it's just a fun thing to think about. It's a fun
Yeah.
basic concept to start writing stories and just start
Yeah,
theorizing.
it's just Jules Verne. It's
Yeah, it's a cool
Yeah.
way to expand your mind into thinking
yeah,
about different
yeah.
things. in
It's a
different
good
ways.
it's a good thought theory, but no, it's crap.
All right, I agree. So let's get some commercials, and then we'll go ahead.
And that was me speaking. That was me speaking as a scientist.
All right, let's go. Let's get some Casey's Creepy Creations. Let's go give him a sub, everybody. I'm going to put the thing in the chat again. Give him a sub. He has some amazing content, and here's his commercial.
Greetings, weary traveler. You look alive. How unfortunate. But don't worry. Here, Casey spins tales of horror, sci-fi, and fantasy, each one carefully handcrafted like a cursed relic in an old curiosity shop.
Smile that's kind.
These stories don't just crawl into your ear, oh no. They come to life with eerie animations pulling you deeper into the abyss.
Casey's creepy creations linger.
So subscribe to Casey's Creepy Creations if you dare. And if you don't, well, let's just say, I do know where you sleep.
Beneath the pale moonlight.
is this who enters unannounced?
You know damn well who.
I am Fet for hire.
The legendary Fet for Hire.
Subscribe today, Tommy, if you love movies.
Hey, look at boobies! I like movies. Hey, Cinema Gulp, where are ya? Help!
Hey, take it easy.
But I lost Cinema Gulp.
Stay calm. Just go to YouTube to subscribe and hit the bell for all the latest videos.
Hey, we're Cinema Gulp and we drink your cinema.
Thanks, Joe. Now I can subscribe.
And subscribing is half the battle.
All right, now let's get into some Dream Master shit. All right, let's show.
Finally, we get off of the UFO BS.
Yeah, now we can get into some Dream Demon shit.
Get the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, this is a
Ghosts and goblins. This is up my alley.
This is the comprehensive view of the analyzing Freddy Krueger.
This is what I thought this show would be about. Didn't think it'd be about
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 51st episode of Analyzing Evil, featuring Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Freddy Krueger has been haunting the dreams of children and adults alike for
we don't
nearly
have
4
to talk
decades
over this.
through
This
an
is
abundance of
AI.
slasher movie camp and copious amounts of nightmarish gore. There are 9 films in this franchise, and in this
DJ
video,
Play Nice.
we'll be covering information that we receive in 7
Thank you so
out
much,
of those 9
Furious Dan and
films.
Orphan
Those
Zane, for being
being
here.
Nightmare on Elm Street 1 through 5, Freddy's
Actually, we
Dead,
do have to
The
talk
Final
over this
Nightmare,
because
and
it's,
Freddy vs.
it's
Jason.
still Freddy Krueger
Unfortunately, as is
content.
quite common with slasher film dynasties,
I mean, if
a number of these
it'll be
films
all right.
leave a lot to
I mean,
be
we can
desired.
talk over it,
Nevertheless,
but,
they do form
No,
a somewhat cohesive
because
story
it's
for
actually
Freddy,
showing the
which is an
character.
achievement that a few other series in this genre
it's fine.
notably
As
lack.
long as it's only
There are, of
4
course, a
seconds
few
long,
continuity issues, but aside from that,
4 to 5
we can draw a
seconds
fairly
long,
complete storyline
clips,
from these films.
It's perfectly fine.
I'd like to
You can show
note
it.
that I won't be delving into every detail of Freddy's numerous crimes or choice of dialogue, as to do so would be redundant. So keep that in mind as we move
Nintendo
forward.
would argue
We'll start by
otherwise.
delving into Freddy's backstory, taking a look at the sickening child murderer he was as a man, before we take a look at the monster he
Yeah, and part 1, 3, and I think part 1, 3, and New Nightmare. Those
We
are my
have hit
favorites.
that golden point of 1 minute. So at least maybe don't play it further than that.
Oh no, I can play it. It's perfectly
became
fine.
Death, the brutal, nightmarish invader of dreams that would
now
plague
we're
the denizens of
going to have to
Springwood for
commentate
years
because we're going over
after
1
the
minute.
destruction
No,
of his
believe me,
corporeal
dude,
form.
I've played
An unwanted
videos
and
before. As long
bloodthirsty
as I give them
trespasser in one's own mind
there's
is
no
a
issue.
terrifying
that's
concept.
fine.
And though Freddy's character is partially based on a real-world occurrence, in
all
reality,
the
Freddy can do
channel's
us
gonna
no
be
harm.
linked in the
But we're all
description.
subject to breaches into our personal lives in many different ways, and one of those ways is financially. However,
It's kind
you can
of funny
protect
that the
yourself from
terror
any
dog is
unwanted
the
incursions
most
into your
terrifying
finances
to
by
copyright.
taking advantage of our sponsor for this video, privacy. Privacy is an incredibly useful
this is the
tool
part
that allows you to set up single services by going to
Okay,
Let's
that's the
begin.
part we need to skip because
Frederick Charles
we can't be
was born in the month
promoting
of September
Yeah.
in the year
things
1942
that are not paying
to
us
Amanda
money.
Krueger
Yeah,
and an unknown
exactly.
father. His mother was
I'm
a
not
man who
sponsored.
cared for the inmates at the Weston Hills
F you
Mental Hospital.
random company we don't work with.
Yeah, I'm not sponsored, so I'm not gonna give them the credit. If you sponsor me, then I'll play it. But until I'm sponsored, yeah, I need the money. So if anybody wants to donate,
random company
Over
we
a
don't
Christmas
work with.
holiday in 1941, she was accidentally locked into the asylum in a section where they housed the most brutal.
Some
and
minus
ruthless
one-
inmates
minus
had been
one-
confined to this
minus
facility.
one potential
Amanda was then
sponsorship.
raped countless times
don't
by
like
these
when they put
criminals.
sponsors in the
Due
middle
to
of
this
videos like
occurrence, Freddy would come
Yeah, I
to be
hate
known
it.
I don't like
as the
that
son of
either.
100 maniacs.
That pisses
a
me
fact
off,
that is
actually,
considered to be the
honestly.
reason that Freddy, unlike many
If you're
villains,
gonna have a
was
sponsorship,
born
put it
evil.
at the end of your
Whether
video.
that's truly the
Yeah,
case or
either
not,
beginning or end.
Freddy did end up developing
exactly.
a
Do it in the very beginning or at the end of the show. There's no.
I would prefer it at the end. I hate it when it's like you're just
Right.
getting into it and you're like, oh, I'm
but-
enjoying this,
but-
and then it's
but-
like suddenly,
yeah.
and now here's dabba 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 Craig. And it's like, fucking shut up.
But sponsors don't pay for you to do it at the end. They want you to do it at the very beginning, because most of the time people click off by the end of the video.
Why do they do it halfway then? Like, it should be at the beginning, at the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
They're fucking idiots.
Social person.
Yeah, I know. Part 2 of the series is the weirdest Freddy Krueger. I don't know if you looked into that, MageGraywolf.
I binged all of them.
You watched all of them? Okay, so I can't wait to talk to you about it.
Personality disorder. And we're shown that he displayed at least one of the behaviors associated with this disorder from a young age, that being the killing of small animals. Freddy was also likely a social outcast as a child, as we see in the same scene that he was ridiculed by his fellow classmates for being the son of 100 maniacs, a fact that I'm sure contributed to his desire to harm his classmates in one way or another. To make matters worse, Freddy was adopted by an abusive alcoholic, Mr. Underwood, and I'm sure
that's Alice. Exactly, that's Alice Cooper right there. I'm glad that you you found that out, man. That's awesome.
Terrible treatment he received at home.
You know, I always thought that this was Ryan Reynolds too. Doesn't it kind of look like him? Is it just me? It's just me? Okay.
I don't know.
Contributed to his violent behavior. These facets of Freddy's life undoubtedly helped him in developing this disorder. And not only that, but over time, the violence inflicted upon him, coupled with his own violent behavior, led to Freddy developing masochism. And in his teenage years, we see that Freddy had become immune to his father's punishments and began to derive pleasure from cutting himself with a straight razor, a compulsion which would follow him well into adulthood and the afterlife. In that same scene, we see where Freddy finally snapped and committed his first murder, returning all of the pain his adopted father had inflicted upon him by ending his life. Though Freddy had plenty of disadvantages when it came to his early development, at some point, he met a woman, Loretta, and fell in love, marrying her and fathering a daughter.
I don't think he fell in love. I think it was an act. I think that it's like when you launder money and you have to have a business to hide it. I think that's exactly what happened with Freddy Krueger.
Sociopaths don't tend to really feel anything for anyone other than themselves.
Exactly. He didn't fall in love with Loretta. He used her as a ploy, as a front for being a normal person that wasn't the serial killer that everybody knew him.
And against all odds, he began to live a normal life, working a job at the local power plant to provide for his family. Though it seemed he legitimately tried to lead a healthy life, this was only a facade, as Freddy spent his free time capturing children and taking them to the boiler room beneath his workplace, where he would murder them in a variety of
beaten up by every other terror dog.
What? Oh, yeah.
Gruesome fashions. During his time spent as the Springwood slasher, Freddy murdered a total of 20 children, as well as his wife, before he was captured and put on trial for his crimes. A trial that would be thrown out on a technicality. A terrible adults.
Yeah, and I don't know if y'all knew, but Freddy had a TV series called Freddy's Nightmares. And,
he was just more of a host rather than...
That was cancelled. That was cancelled.
It was more of a host thing rather than him actually being in the show. But there were a few times.
Yeah, it was cancelled anyway.
But my whole point is that it shows the trial and why he got off for murders and stuff. There was an episode.
But that show's technically not canon. It was cancelled.
Well, I think that the canon of that episode was true, because they stuck with that through and through. That he got off.
The show was never shown. The show was never shown, was it?
Oh yeah, it was. I watched it as a kid. Yeah.
They mentioned him getting off of a technicality in one of the movies as well.
Yeah, exactly. And
I thought they cancelled that show.
No, well, they might have canceled it, but it was on TV. I watched it.
Maybe it was a one-off for Halloween. Maybe.
No, there were several episodes. There was also
one season.
There was also a Jason series too, but that one only had a couple episodes. But yeah,
of the justice system.
Basically, the whole thing is that a police officer didn't sign a paper in the right spot or something like that, so he got off.
Yeah.
Failing. Now, aside from the murder of his wife, Freddy committed every murder we've discussed so far for one reason only: revenge. And Freddy was a highly damaged man who sought to take revenge against his adopted father for abusing him, and revenge against his former classmates for mistreating him when he was a child.
The cruelty of Freddy Krueger is highlighted in
I
these
don't
murders.
think so. I think he was
as rather than taking revenge on these people personally, he does so indirectly by killing their children,
in his life just
thereby
kind of
providing
amplified
them with
what
a
was
level.
already there.
Yeah, the whole point of him being the son of 100 maniacs, it kind of like gives you the impression that he was like this was a prophecy that was fulfilled. You know, like him being born to the son of 100 maniacs to a nun. It was kind of prophetic that he became this psycho killer. It wasn't because of his dad abusing him, even though I'm sure that didn't help the situation.
Yeah, like I said, it just amplified what was already there.
Exactly. I think he was always meant to be this character.
Of ongoing suffering in the form of grief and emotional torment, which I'm sure Freddy found much more satisfying than the quickness of death. Thus, with their own revenge in mind, the citizens of Springwood took matters into their own hands and murdered Freddy by setting him on fire in his den of evil.
And not only set him on fire,
justifiable.
they threw holy water on him. They gave the crucifix.
That came later, though.
Yeah, exactly. But that was what Wes Craven came back to rectify. In the movies, he hated what they did in Freddy's Revenge with Jesse and making him into this possessor demon that's possessed Jesse. He wanted to completely get that out of canon, and it
didn't get it completely out. There actually he does do it one more time in Freddy versus Jason.
Well, that's true. Yeah, he does. But I think that Wes Craven wasn't
Is that canon? Is Freddy versus Jason even canon?
I think some people.
I regard it as I counted it in my.
Isn't it like Predator versus Alien? It's like it's not canon.
I think it's like half and half. You could argue either way, honestly, but I would argue it isn't just because Wes Craven.
I would say it isn't. I would say it's just a crossover.
Yeah, exactly. But if you watch
that's like saying Super Smash Bros is canon to Mario.
Well, true. Have you ever seen MageGraywolf? Have you ever seen the final Friday the 13th, the Final Friday, the last Jason movie before Jason X?
Yeah, I probably saw it.
Because at the very, very end of that movie, after Jason gets killed, you see Jason's mask, and then
he's reaching up and grabs the mask.
Yeah, and then Freddy's glove comes up.
Yeah.
So that's where the crossover begins in Jason that Final Friday. So
I guess it is.
Well, I counted it in my thing, and I also added a little extra from a fan in film.
Oh, cool.
And I suppose it is. I mean, if the glove is a thing, then yeah.
Well, but it's in Jason's movie, not Freddy's. That's why it might be canon in Jason's movies, but they may just be using it.
The Necronomicon also shows up in Jason's movie.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. So I'm just going along the lines of what Wes Craven had envisioned.
Yeah, it's like this whole.
The one thing I don't count is the New Nightmare one, because he's a completely different entity there.
But that's more.
It's a little bit like what I argued earlier on. It's like trying to say that Super Smash Bros is part of Mario. It's like maybe not.
Yeah. Wes Craven did have a big part of. He wrote New Nightmare to finally kill Freddy, but the whole thing with New Nightmare is it's a meta commentary on the whole essence of Nightmare on Elm Street in general. So it's like I don't know if it's canon, but it's a meta commentary on the canon of what Nightmare on Elm Street
Canon's a very questionable thing when you think about it for any franchise, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because it's like, what's canon in Power Rangers,
True. I mean, you could say everything or nothing, or nothing is.
Yeah, you could say the movie is, even though it isn't technically.
Yeah. Mage, do you remember this character that when he fell asleep, he turned into a superhero?
Yes.
And, oh my God, that was the only one that I always thought was so fun.
Considering that he may have gotten away with his murders, had they not done so.
I was never
However,
scared of it. It was just like, oh, that's cool. If I was to fight Freddy, I'd turn into a superhero too.
As is beautifully revealed through 3D segments in Final Nightmare, Freddy made a pact with dream demons that would see him serving as an agent of their desire to blur the lines between the dream world and reality, rendering Freddy
I'll be going back over some of this.
Of the children.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah.
Though this might be true, We can also peg Freddy's undying wish for revenge against those who have wronged him as one of
That's
the core
kind of funny.
reasons why
They
he
used the word "peg" during the Friday the 13th 2 or Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, because that's supposed to be like a commentary on the gay, being gay and being closeted and stuff like that. The writer and the actor that played Jesse, they were both homosexual guys, and they made the movie based on being like a commentary, propaganda kind of piece for being homosexual and being in the closet and stuff like that.
Well, it's not
manifests as a
not
revenant.
new to Deadpool, but it's the Dizzy.
Yeah. Oh, we got what? We got 2 Hellhounds here now.
What the?
No, they're multiplying.
What's up? What's
Don't
going
let them
on?
come together.
Yeah, there's
Come
2
apart.
of them. What's going on?
I don't know what just happened.
I don't know. There's 2 of you. There's 2 of you here. Which one do I'm gonna get rid of one. I don't know which one to get rid of, but was that the right one?
Wrong one, I think.
Okay,
Yep,
I'm gonna.
that one.
How about this?
There
one?
we go.
Okay, there you go. Okay, I got rid of the right
after
one.
his demise.
There-
Now,
there was a
Freddy's
doppelganger
revenge
of you in
has
your
been turned
hellhound.
towards the children of those who burned him
We
alive.
don't want
In
those
later
two getting
films,
together.
this
That-
revenge is put
that
aside
leads to
somewhat,
the
as it
opening
would
up
seem
the
that once his
destruction
revenge
gods.
has been satisfied, he still retains the undying wish to simply kill.
We almost
which
had
could also be
Gozar.
another component of his power.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though Freddy derives his status as an immortal being from the powers granted to him by
Damn
demons
it, I
and
almost
his own
got the
desire for
Keymaster.
revenge,
Damn
he also
you.
gains power through the souls of others, becoming stronger
Super
with each
Freddy.
kill, absorbing the souls of the slain
Super
into
Freddy,
his
that was so. I love that, and I love the power glove too. I put a goal in the chat if y'all want to see a video I made. Well, I didn't make, but one that I wanted to show y'all. 5 super chats of $2 or more. We'll get you that. So
By the
it's
way,
in
that's
there
the
now.
one moment where my crap internet made an exactly great, funny reference.
Oh, what'd you say? I missed it.
Because my crap internet ended up creating two terror dogs. That was like, we almost had Goza. We almost had
That's true. That was Zool and Vince Clortho both here at the same time.
in rebuilding his power after he's dealt with in the first film.
Oh,
After his
that
demise,
was the one time
the appearance of
Verizon
the once
internet is
average-looking Freddy
hilarious.
changes dramatically, donning a faded brown hat,
Was that a duck?
tattered red
Was
and
that
green sweater.
technically a duck of death type of thing? Was that like a duck thing? That
No,
happened?
it was Verizon. It was my internet being weird
His
and
favorite tool
glitchy.
of torture.
Okay.
Freddy has taken his
It was
injuries
a
into the
Verizon
afterlife,
moment.
becoming a
All
mess of
right,
scars.
because I'm
and
waiting
burnt
for a
flesh.
duck of death moment because I have a duck of death. I have a video for that now.
No, it
That
wasn't
add a
that.
visceral note to his already
If it was Duck of
intimidating
Death,
presence.
there would be
Prior to his
zero.
transformation,
Yeah,
in tandem
true.
with his appearance, Freddy displayed an average enough personality. But when he was indulging in his murderous endeavors, his cruelty and sadism
Damn it,
manifested
so
in
close.
abundance. And now, after
If
his
that ever
death,
happens
he's
again,
living
you
as
need
that
to get
brutal
like the
sadist
terror
full-time,
dog music.
often showing us that he has an incredibly sense
Oh,
of
yeah.
humor, toying with his victims before granting them their
I
deaths.
love how
As I
Roseanne
said,
Barr and
his
yeah,
masochism
Tom
seems
Arnold
to have
were
carried
just-
over as well. As
Yeah.
though at one point he remarks how being mortal hurts, he likely still feels some degree of pain after his death. And we see him mutilating himself several
Yeah,
times
there
to
was some
instill
really
fear
cool,
into his victims,
practical effects
which I'm
in-
sure
in these
brings him a
movies
certain amount of
sometimes.
psychological, if not physical, pleasure. Before his death, Freddy was limited in his capacity to inflict
Yeah, this
pain
was
on
the
others
new
by
version
the
that
confines
I
of his
hated
mortal
the new
coil,
version.
causing suffering through
I
the
don't know
use of
why.
other horrid
I do
implements
not
of
count the
torture
remake.
and other physical means. Now that he's transcended into
remake,
the realm
yeah.
of dreams, Freddy can cause havoc in any way that he can think
Oh,
of.
the remake's
And throughout
crap,
all of
isn't
these
it?
films,
Yeah,
we
it
see
is. I
Freddy
hate
preying
it.
on his victims in dozens of imaginative ways.
I don't think that's
many
canon.
of which typically consist
No,
of
it's
preying upon certain
not.
facets
It's a
of a
complete.
person's life, like their desire.
Basically, the remake is the ultra-terrestrial version of Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's like a completely different universe.
personality,
Yeah,
and fears.
exactly.
In this dream world, Freddy is nigh
Oh, yeah,
immortal,
the Wizard,
and
the
though he can
Dream
be stopped
Warriors. I
momentarily
love
by his
It's
victims
Fred-
when they're in his
it's
domain.
The
He
It's
will
Dream.
always
Freddy-
regenerate and
Freddy
continue
2
to pursue
point
them
something
until
something
they
something from another universe.
Yeah,
The remake.
The Dream Warriors Part 3 is literally my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street. That was the coolest idea ever. I love the kills in it. I love the puppet, that guy who made puppeteers. He was a puppeteer, and then he got killed by his veins being pulled out. And
I'm starting to run out of portal energy. I'm going to have to go back to whatever dimension I came from.
Either wake up or
All
die.
right. All right.
However, Freddy does have his weaknesses, namely that he needs a vessel from which he can project himself into the dreams of others, and he can also be stopped through an absence of fear of him, or if nobody remembers him, which renders his ability to infect the dreams of others obsolete. When taking on the souls of others, viewing his own reflection, and thus the reflection of those he's absorbed,
Yeah, I didn't
reflects
like
their
that.
pain back onto himself. He can also be pulled from the dream world, and when taken into
I
reality,
like the idea
he is
of
given
the souls inside of him fighting back, but the whole looking in the mirror thing, I think that was a little
Well,
cheesy.
I think that was just her own powers within the dream.
Oh, I'll give it to you. That makes sense. Yeah, like she was the dream master in that movie, and she kind of channeled her own dream master abilities into that mirror. Yeah, that makes sense, to give the power to the souls inside to fight back. That makes sense. Okay, I like that. Thank you.
in a mostly mortal form, one that can still endure
Hey, what's up,
significant
File
amount of
13?
damage, but
What's
one
up,
that can be
boys? Hail,
killed
having a crab
nonetheless.
boil and listening to the
However,
stream. I always
unfortunately
like
for the
part
populace of
part
Springwood,
4 was all
Freddy
right. I like
never
part
truly
3
stays
better,
dead,
though.
and even after the events of Freddy vs. Jason, we find that Freddy is likely still
Part
alive and
4
well.
is the one where it starts with the dog pissing on the grave. I just realized why File 13 likes Part 4. The dog goes and pisses on fire all through the grave, and then his skeleton comes back, and he comes back and he's in full force again. I just realized why
Does
you
it
like
burn
Part
when you
4.
pee?
Yeah, do you have syphilis?
Just waiting for the opportunity to return and bring torment to his children. So with that in mind, who was and is Freddy Krueger? He was a child born of a horrific act of gang rape, one who grew up with that reality hanging
rape,
over his
thank
head,
you.
forcing him into a position of constant ridicule. Once born into this world, he was forced into a home with an abusive and alcoholic father who tormented him for the majority of his young life, doling out abuse that caused Freddy to develop violent behaviors of his own, behavior he projected upon others and himself. After murdering the man who brought him so much pain in his youth, Freddy would seemingly use this moment to sever his past, moving on to start a family of his own, and living an average life as a working man in the small town of Springwood. However, this wasn't meant to be, as Freddy could never truly shed the traumas he experienced.
Yeah, they keep
and
going back and forth in this video saying,
that's the AI doing that.
Yeah, that's true. This probably was completely written and
Come on, people! If you're gonna have AI write your scripts, at least edit the damn thing.
Yeah, exactly. Make
rather
it
than
actually
dealing with
make
them
sense.
in any healthy way whatsoever, he turned to rage and then revenge, doling out punishment.
See, that's what I hate
and abuse
about Marvelous videos too. I don't know. If
I
you've
don't
seen
like
it.
them.
I don't either, because they really make big mistakes in their explanations and stuff, and it really pisses me off.
the innocent in order to spite the guilty. Caught by his wife before murdering
Yeah,
her,
exactly. She
Freddy was
absorbs.
eventually
She absorbs
apprehended
all
by
her
the
friend's
authorities
powers.
after
Alice. That's the one with the cool motorcycle
Yeah,
in it. That there are cool parts in it. Oh, and that one lady turns into a cockroach, and he's.
Oh, that was one of the most disgusting changes.
I know that really was. It was one of the most disgusting kills in all cinema history, I think. It was just, oh man, I don't know what they used, but that just looked so gross when he squished that box.
committing at least 22 murders during his time on the mortal plane. 22 murders that he never
I did
answered
like
for
her brother
in a
though
legal
in that
sense,
one,
due to
the
a
karate
technicality.
master.
Murdered by the parents of his victims, Freddy
You
would make a
forgot the
deal with
power
demons and transcend into the ethereal world, becoming a living
that was,
nightmare that sought to achieve the
Freddy's
same goal
dead.
he had lived
Yeah,
for
Freddy's
during his
dead.
life: revenge.
See, you're already a master at these movies, man. That's awesome. I love it.
In his pursuit of this revenge, Freddy would murder 34 people through various gruesome and horrific dreamscapes, marking these people's last moments as nothing short of a
Kincaid.
terror-filled nightmare. Cruel, sadistic, pedophilic, and brutal to the core, Freddy Krueger in life was a sick, spiteful, and abhorrent person. the lowest of the
There it
lowest,
is, here
who
it
turned his
is.
own traumas onto the innocent in order to satisfy his own
Let's
twisted
see it.
desires.
Oh,
In death, Freddy
I just
was
got
every
chills.
bit a monster, one whose malicious
See, I
intent
like this guy.
transcended the confines of mortality
He opens up to, like,
manifest
this,
itself
this,
as nightmares incarnate,
Japanese,
a wraith sent from
like,
the depths of hell to
beautiful
torture the souls
home,
of
and,
his
like,
enemies
he's,
in the
like,
most
fighting
gruesome
an
ways
invisible,
imaginable.
ninja,
Though his character has
Freddy.
suffered through an onslaught of camp and poor storytelling,
forgot the power
Freddy
glove.
Krueger, without a doubt, rises above it all and cements himself as one of the most iconic
See, this-
and
that
terrifying
kill right
slasher
there,
villains to
I
ever
love that
appear in
one.
cinema.
Yeah, that was a good kill.
And he is without a doubt a vile beast, one that
That
embodies
was a
the
lackluster.
most revolting.
Yeah, but
and
it's
macabre
very well known for the
aspects
line
of
because he
evil.
improv'd that line. It was supposed I forgot what the original line was supposed to be, but he tried it again and he was like, "Welcome to prime time, bitch," and they kept that one because obviously that was classic. But he
Thank you all
he
for tuning
improv'd
in to
that the
this
whole
episode of
time.
Analyzing Evil, and I hope you've enjoyed. What are your thoughts on Freddy? Did I miss?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Freddy? Let's hear what you have to say, MageGraywolf.
Well, 1, 2, Freddy's
Oh,
coming
yeah.
for you.
3,
3,
4,
4,
better
better
lock
lock
your
your door.
door.
5,
6,
6, grab a
grab your
crucifix.
crucifix.
7,
7,
8,
8,
gonna
better
stay
stay up late.
late.
9,
9, 10,
10,
never
never
sleep
sleep again. I love it.
Yeah,
Such a
Freddy,
good rhyme.
Freddy Krueger, the bastard son of 100 maniacs, aka the Spring Ingwood Slasher. He was born from the maniacs violating the nun and Amanda Krueger for days when she was accidentally locked in with them. He was a serial child.
It was over Christmas break.
Yep, he was a serial child killer in life and killed using a bladed leather glove if he crafted in his boiler room where he brought his victims. He had kidnapped and killed 20 children before he was captured, but was set free on a technicality. The parents of the town, when seeking vengeance, formed a mob and hunted him down, cornering him in his boiler room. They set fire to the building, burning him alive. As he burned, the trio of dream demons offered him a pact with him. He would serve as their agent to break down the barrier between dreams and reality, turning him into a malevolent spirit with the power to kill in people's dreams. As a ghost, he focused on the children of those who killed him, and from time to time, one of his targets would best him, sometimes resulting in temporarily weakening him. Each kill allowed him to consume his victim's soul, while making him stronger, presumably with enough souls he could completely break down the barrier between dreams and reality. His first defeat as a ghost came at the hands of Nancy. She defeated him by pulling him out of her dream into the real world. Nancy found a way to stop feeding Freddy the power he was getting from her, a psychomatic theory, like a man of power. His second defeat came 5 years later. Freddy tried to possess a boy, but his positive emotions were enough to override this. While facing the survivors of his attacks, the Dream Warriors, Freddy's remains were properly buried and consecrated. This stopped him for a brief time, but he was brought back by the Dream Demons. His next defeat came at the hands of the Dream Master, who was able to take full control of her dream, causing Freddy to lose control of all his souls he collected. This was one of the situations where he was temporarily weakened. Souls of his victims were used again and again by the Dream Master's unborn son. And Freddy, he was temporarily trapped inside the soul of his mother, but managed to escape. Freddy was again pulled out of the dream world into the real world by his daughter and blown up with a pipe bomb. The dream demons appear to abandon him at this point, with the assumption that he was finally gone for good. This defeat, along with the town and the Springwood, and finding a way to keep his memory of Freddy forgotten, and left him too weak to kill in dreams. To stir things back up, he tricked Jason Voorhees into coming to Elm Street and going on a killing spree. But he began the feud, as Jason simply wouldn't stop killing and giving Freddy a chance. Taking to Crystal Lake, Jason's home turf, Freddy is again pulled into the real world, where Jason rips rips Freddy's arm off and stabs him with his own claw before pulling Freddy into the crystal lake with him. But later, we see Jason emerge from the lake carrying Freddy's severed head, which can still talk. A year later, cutting into our little bit of a fan in film aspect. A year later, Freddy he manifested in Denver, where the Denver Ghostbusters, led by Ed Spangler, the nephew of Egon Spangler, confronted him. And they once again pulled Freddy from the dream world and captured him. To date, he remains in Ed's custom ecto-containment unit that uses an encoder to convert the ghost into a signal that can be stored in a computer, provided none of them fill up the memory with porn. In Ghostbusters terms, Freddy he would use a psychometric.
Can you send me a link to that video? I've never seen that.
I have the whole movie. I can.
Yes, send it to me. I would love to watch that.
Yeah. In Ghostbusters terms, Freddy used a psychomagnetic energy he generated from those remembering his existence to create an initial manifestation in the dreams. He would then harvest souls of his victims to further gain strength. Wes Craven, getting into the real world idea of this guy, Wes Craven got the basic premise of the movie from a series of articles he read in the Los Angeles Times.
That's right. You really dug deep into this, man. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you dug so deep. I love that.
Where several South Asian refugees died in the throes of horrific nightmares. 3 of the men had died, all in similar situations. Young, otherwise healthy men would have a nightmare, then refuse to sleep for as long as they could. When they finally fell asleep from exhaustion, and they woke screaming and then died. Autopsy results reveal that they had not died from heart failure, but had simply died. It was the inability to find the cause of death that intrigued Craven so much. Medical authorities have since called the phenomena Asian death syndrome, as a variant of sudden unexpected death syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
The name Freddy Krueger came from the schoolmate named Fred Krueger, who bullied Wes Craven as a boy. The burns came from a man with severe burn scars who Craven was terrified of as a child. And Freddy's clothes was inspired by an alcoholic hobo that Craven saw staring at him through his window one day when he was 10 years old.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Crazy.
Originally, Freddy was scripted as a child diddler, trying to keep this friendly.
I gotcha.
But this was changed because of a series of child molestations in California around the time of production, and they didn't want to seem like they were exploiting in the event. But the plot was used in the 2010 remake.
Yeah.
So that's what I had on him. We can get into the classification, or if you got some additions you want to put.
Well, I want to explore a couple of the movies, and then we'll get into that.
Right.
In part 1, he was definitely made out to be more of a threat and less of a comical character and more of a terrifying slasher, basically. And
it's more of into the Dream Warriors ones that we start getting more comical.
Exactly. Even in part 2, when it was completely skewed, and he was possessing Jesse, and he only got disband. He was killed off because
by the power of love.
By the power of love, even though it was based on characters being gay and coming out of the closet and stuff like that. I think that girl's name was Alice too. Well, I might be wrong. I might be wrong about that, but anyway, that's why Jesse. You can see him like sleeping over with that guy that picked on him. There's lots of little subtle hints, obviously, like the coach. He was at that gay bar, and he was dressed in dominatrix clothes.
None mentioned. Yeah, I do see where they would add the little hints.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually a good way of doing it, though.
Exactly. And people actually go to conventions specifically for part 2, not any other movie, because they back then that was like their movie, gay people's movie. They looked to that, and they thought it was a that was for them. That was just for them. So that's kind of what started, gay pride and stuff like that.
No, it gets there's a lot more history to that, but
Well,
we won't
I'm
get into
sure,
that.
but yeah. Anyway, other than that, part one, he's a very terrifying, threatening character that nobody believed in, and then finally, you learn that to not fear him is how to destroy him, but that's not actually how you do it. And then you had to consecrate his bones, which in part three, I think is the better of all of the films. I think that the kills in
Yeah.
it were the best. I think that there was some titties in there, so that always made it better.
Consecrating his remains might have worked if it wasn't for the dream demons.
Exactly. That's true. That is true. I think that the way that they did that was very cool. They killed off John Saxton's character, which was Nancy's dad. He was
They killed off Nancy in that one.
Yeah, they killed off Nancy. They killed off. Didn't they kill off another person? Maybe not. But I loved. Oh yeah, the wizard character, the one that loves D&D. The girl that was a drug addict.
Yeah, she got it.
Yeah. So there was a few good kills in there. See, they were very imaginative with that movie, and that's what I really appreciated with it. Each kill was very specific to each character, as opposed to just being slashed and that was it. Everything was very specific to each character, and I thought that was very creative, and that's why I like Dream Warriors the best. I like that they thought they were able to use the powers that they had within them to fight Freddy. So the wizard had his wizard powers. He was shooting green lightning like I'd shoot some green lightning at him.
Well, to tie this into, I've actually had a dream where I was fighting Freddy and actually he won.
Yeah.
I ended up developing my own claws and kicking his ass. But interestingly enough, when I woke up from that dream, I had a big cut across my chest.
Ooh, shit! Did it say "Come get him"? He's mine, bitch, or something like they did with Jesse and that. That's fucking crazy.
It was just one line across my chest.
Oh, dude, you never know, man. Maybe he's real. Maybe he's coming after you, buddy. No, but yeah, it was definitely a cool movie. And then in part 4, they get a little bit sillier with it. The whole pizza thing, with the meatballs and the souls, and he's eating the meatballs in front of Alice, and he's like, "Oh, that was a good," whatever he said, and then the cockroach. That was a disgusting death.
Yeah, that cockroach one was pretty disgusting. Yeah. The motorcycle one was awesome looking.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then in part 5, with the kid, I think that was a little weird. I understand they had to kind of figure out a way to bring him back again.
A little convoluted.
Yeah, it really was. It was kind of weird, but that's just how it goes. That was the one with the weird kill with the superhero and the fighting and the whole thing with fighting an invisible Freddy Krueger when he was doing the martial arts. That whole thing was improvised too, because Robert Englund he was sick, so he couldn't film that scene. So they had to improvise, and they pretended he was fighting an invisible Freddy.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they improvised that whole scene just because Robert Englund couldn't. He was either sick or he had other engagements for that time and couldn't film that scene. So they came up with that, which was kind of weird. But yeah, so all those movies, it got sillier and sillier as it went. But part 3 was definitely my favorite. I don't know. What about you? Which movie would you call your favorite?
Oh, that's a hard one. I have to say, it's kind of a toss-up between the Dream Warriors and the Dream Master for me.
Good call. I would agree with that. All right, now do you want to give your classification first, or do you want me to give mine?
I guess I can go first here. Well, first of all, I put Freddy as a solid class 4. We know his name is Freddy Krueger. And even if we use my own take, he has agency, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
he seeing as he wasn't, and he's actually the ghost of a dead person, which is be the classification of class 3, 4, class 5,
4.
class 5 being something that was
Yeah.
formed. He's focused, obviously, full torso. When he's at least pulled into the real world, he's corporeal. One thing I added in was that he's an ultra-dimensional. So that's across of this dimension. So the dream world is across from our own dimension, according to the idea of it, rather than being in trans-dimensional, outside of this dimension.
Uh-huh.
And he's
look at my hands. I'm not typing anything, so
yeah.
I just wanted to show you what I got too, because yeah.
And I would also have him as a repeater.
Oh, okay, all right.
The one of the things that I was a little kind of on the edge on was putting a possessor in there. I decided to drop that because that wasn't really a main thing of his. He does have the ability to possess people.
Exactly.
It's not something that's really a main part of what makes his power set.
Exactly.
So I dropped that.
All right. So that's what you got?
That's what I got.
You got a class 4 focused, full torso, corporeal, ultra-dimensional repeater. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I got is a class 4 focused, full torso, corporeal, trans-dimensional, which I think is the same thing as ultra-dimensional.
It's a little bit different. Trans-dimensional is outside of a dimension. Ultra-dimensional is across from a dimension. So the dream world, I would say, is across from our dimension.
Okay.
Rather than being outside of it.
Across from this dimension. So yeah, okay, I'll give it to you. I'll change. Yeah, that makes more sense. Ultra-dimensional, across from the dimension, since a dream world is a different dimension, so it's across the dimension instead of outside of it completely. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'll change mine. I had trans-dimensional, but I'll change it to ultra.
I was kind of teetering on that one myself.
Yeah, that's kind of difficult, but I had class 4 focused, full torso, corporeal, trans-dimensional, but I changed it to ultra-dimensional planar animator. So a planar is realm or dimension. So since he controls the realm of the dreams, I put him as a planar, and then as a animator. Let me read that real quick.
Maybe I don't know.
Animating entity capable of animating an object, whether by telekinesis or by inhabiting them. You see that a lot in the movies. He animates entities in the real world.
So I'm not sure about the planar one, and seeing as it's usually referencing to something that's from those planes rather than something. He's not exactly from those planes. He's a ghost that's from our world, but he does go to that
But
one.
the dream demons are.
Yeah, the dream demons are their dream demons are something a little bit different than.
Yeah, but they are. But I put that because they're a part of him. So
I'm not sure. I don't know. I usually consider them to be separate entities to him, but they're just working with him.
Okay, so then what we got is a class 4 focused, full torso, corporeal, ultra-dimensional animator. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I guess we can agree with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Cool. I like it.
Oh, and this is kind of tie this a little bit back to our first topic. The dream demons would fall under the classification of ultra-terrestrials.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I would classify them as a what is it? A
class 7.
Class 7 is it unstable? A physical manifestation who forms
class 7 planar or ultra-dimensionals.
Deity, supreme being. A class 7 deity.
Would they be deities or just demons?
Because they're well, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe it would just be a class. Okay, yeah, I'll give it to you. It's a class 7. Maybe would you call it unstable, or would you call it a ghost. No, because it's not a spirit of the deceased.
Yeah,
It would be unstable. I think a physical manifestation who forms itself with paranormally compromised. No, that's not it
no,
either.
that's not.
It would be either.
Well, like I said, I'd say they were class 7 planar or ultra-dimensional beings.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I can go with that. A free floating.
Maybe free floating. They do. I mean, they don't. As far as we know, they're not bound to
Exactly.
anything.
Yeah, and they're
Well,
not full torso because they're just little like sperm looking
yeah.
things.
Well, they wouldn't. They don't
Yeah.
necessarily be full torso.
Yeah, they're probably caustic, corrosive, burning, just plain dangerous because they come from fire. So
Maybe I'm not sure. We don't know too much about them beyond that.
True. We're just speculating at this point, but yeah, I think that we got Freddy for sure. Yeah, I think we got it for sure. I think that was definitely a fun one to dissect and to oh, you know what? The dream demons are a wandering possessor too, because they they can possess people, which they do with Freddy Krueger.
Well, he's not really possessed by them. They're just kind of empowering him.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. So, yeah, they're a hard one, I guess, to classify. But I think we got Freddy for sure.
Yeah, we got Freddy.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that we got it. That if anybody wants to dig in a little bit, of course. Okay, so Sigvaldsson would be a hard fight, but ultimately Freddy's head would be rolling away from his body. We're talking about another film that needed a high-level paladin to deal with an evil force. Exactly. Imagining Freddy dealing with a constant prot from evil aura hitting him, and then a +5 Vorpal Holy Avenger ripping through him would be a hard fight, but ultimately Freddy's head would be rolling away from his body. Of course, Freddy's ability to affect the mind would be moot. True, but then the Dream Demons might come back and bring him back from the dead anyway. So you might have to keep that up, every couple of years or every couple of months.
Little side off in the Phenomena Files DM group. I put the Internet Archive where I got the Freddy vs. Ghostbusters.
Oh, cool.
And it also has the Ghostbusters Return in fan film in there too.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can't wait to check that out. Oh man, this was a good episode. I'm glad
little neat thing. If you like the video game, there's a little nod to the Return of Ghostbusters. Who's in there with a little drawing from Ed Spangler as a kid in Egon's workshop area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little Easter egg it's a nod to the fan film. It was such a good fan film.
That's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna put in the chat. I'm gonna start doing this too. I'm going to put in the chat Freddy Krueger, and then I'm going to put the classification so everybody can see it. A class 4 focused corporeal ultra-dimensional animator. That's what we have for the Tobins or the Theta Spirit Guide. So, yeah, that's what he is. That's what we're sticking to. If you disagree, leave it in the comments. And hope you had a great time with this one. I know we did, and next week we'll try to have something even better. I know that we got a lot of stuff that we could be dealing with, and who knows what it'll be next week. We'll figure something out and hopefully come back to entertain you and classify another spirit or demon or cryptid or some kind of paranormal entity from either cinema or SCP lore. I think digging into the SCP lore would be fun.
That might be a good one for next week.
Yeah, I think so too. I think SCPs we might be doing next week. I think that's a good idea. So I hope.
Yeah, let me know which one you want to do.
Yeah, I'll look into. Well, there's a ton. I mean, there are so many to do.
I know.
There's the Plague Doctor. There's the Flesh That Hates. There's so many fun ones that we could do.
There's one I don't know which one what it's called, but it was one with like a video cassette where it was playing over and over, and then and the people in the cassette realize what's going on, so it keeps changing. Like
yeah,
that one actually inspired a little short story I wrote for a Ghostbusters case.
Oh, That's cool. All right. Well, I'd like to read that too. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Buckethead, I'll look into 109. I probably know what that is. I just don't know the number right off the top of my head. But I hope that y'all enjoyed tonight's show. The Phenomenon Files is here, and we are going to keep classifying demons and SCPs, cryptids, everything that you can throw our way. And I hope that you come back and enjoy next week's episode, because we are going to be here, and we are going to be classifying and busting these ghosts and theories.
If we remember.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Take care. May the power protect you, and busting makes us feel good. So hope it does to you too. Have a good night.
Data flows like whispers in the night. Unseen threads connect the cosmic light. Pages flipping in the spirit guide. Truths concealed by a universe-wide phenomenon files we tell so deep. Through the black void where secrets sleep. Ghostly echoes and celestial screams. Mapping mysteries that outshine dreams. Stardust forms an encrypted code. Fragmented tales of a lost abode. Professionals searching through the haze. Cataloging the otherworldly blaze. Phenomenon files we tell so deep. Through the black void where secrets sleep. Ghostly echoes and celestial screams. Mapping mysteries that outshine dreams. Signals hum on a frequency strange. Supernatural whispers shift and change. Tobin's whispers guide us through the streams. Boundaries blur between truth and dreams. Orbiting questions without a tether. A fabric of worlds stitched together. Stars hold answers locked in disguise. A galaxy adorned in
Got one that can see.